What is up, guys? Team Ufos here with another video. And as you guys may have seen on my shorts post that I posted, I believe it was last night. Yeah, it was last night. We have some new content for you, and that is, of course, another deck profile. What else would we do? You know, deck profiles are the specialty on this channel. And today we have something that has been around for quite a while, and that is ABCs. I love ABCs. I've loved ABCs since their release. It's a very fun and easy deck to play, and it doesn't require a ridiculously high skill level in order to figure out the basics of playing this deck. So we're obviously going to jump into the deck profile, but before we do, I would like you guys to go ahead and smash that subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, give the video a thumbs up, comment down below with all of your lovely thoughts and feelings, because it's significantly appreciated. And we are past 800 subscribers. I believe at the time of recording I'm at 823 if I remember correctly. So let's try and bump that up to 900. That's the big goal. If we can hit 900, I might do a combo tutorial or test hand video like I did with the Mermail deck profile. So we're gonna try that out. So let's go ahead and jump right into the deck profile. All right, so before I start showing you guys the list, I wanted to give a shout outs also to MetaMats here for having some really cool play mats. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I'm not getting paid to do this. I just think they have fantastic play mats. If you guys need a nice play mat, definitely go check them out. I'll even toss their website link down in the description down below so you guys can go ahead and check them out. I got this playmat for a really good deal at a tournament that I went to fairly recently that my locals hosted. Shout out to my locals as well, Imperial Gaming Collectibles, based out of Connecticut. The best locals in New England, hands down. There is no one that does it better. So shout outs to both of them, but let's jump into the deck profile. So we have 3 copies of Assault Core, because this card's really good. You just get to recur your pieces from graveyard. If it's equipped to a monster, it's unaffected by monster effects, the monster that it's equipped to, that is. It's also a 1900 beat stick, which is pretty good. So 1900 is fairly strong. Then we have 3 copies of B Buster Drake. B Buster Drake is a searcher. It also makes it so the monster that it's equipped to is unaffected by spell effects. So a searcher and making something unaffected by spells is also pretty darn good in this meta. Then we have 3 copies of Sea Crush Wyvern. This is the only one that I ever see people now play less than 3 of, and I understand why, but I still think playing 3 of each piece is pretty important, because you kind of want to see the pieces in your hand. Like, they're extremely useful, obviously, seeing it's your entire strategy. But Sea Crush Wyvern basically allows you to special summon a piece from hand, and additionally, the monster that is equipped to is unaffected by trap cards. So basically, depending on which piece you have, kind of changes up what you have protection from. The best card is they're all color coordinated. So purple being your trap card, green being your spell, and yellowish, orange, brown being your monster. So those are all the pieces. We do play 3 of each. Additionally, we do play the 1 copy of Union Driver, which basically you're going to equip to your piece off of Union Hanger. I was playing 2 of this for a while, and I opted to cut it down to 1. I think it's okay at 1. I don't see a big issue with playing just 1 of it. Essentially, when it's equipped, you can banish it, and then you can equip another from deck, another Union monster, that is. So basically, you normal summon any piece, whether it's A, B, or C, and then Union Hanger equips this, you banish it, and then you equip another piece from deck, and then that piece that you equip from deck can special summon itself, so you can start Link summoning or XYZ summoning. It's pretty darn good. Then for some extenders here, we have 2 gold and 2 silver gadget. These help you go into your Link plays, as well as just get larger combos off to extend with. There's not an excessive amount to elaborate on here, because most people know what the gadgets do. Basically, they get summoned out, and you can special summon a level 4 machine monster from your hand. Then these, if they're destroyed, you could basically summon the opposing color from your deck. So if silver gets destroyed, you special gold from deck. If gold gets destroyed, you summon a silver from deck, which is actually pretty useful in some situations if you have to kind of like slow the game state down. Then finally, the last like engine card, if you want to call it that, or extender, would be 3 copies of Galactic Soldier. So this card is super strong in the fact that it allows you to make an infinity before your Buster Dragon, or your Dragon Buster, however you want to say it. So basically it also gets you your materials engraved, which getting your A, B, or your C engraved is very important. When it's summoned, it also searches a copy of itself, so it's pretty easy to access a Cyber Dragon Infinity with it. But those are all the regular monsters. Moving on to hand traps, we have 3 copies of Ash because it's the most generic hand trap. Discard it and you basically get to negate a whole bunch of really good stuff that your opponent could resolve, but now they can't. They play 3 copies of Effect Veiler. So you could play Imperm, but here's my thought process, is that Veiler is a light monster, which kind of coincides with the Galaxy Soldier. So, yeah, Veiler's pretty good. Then lastly, for the hand traps, we have 3 Nibiru, also a light monster, which is pretty neat. I think this card should be seeing a lot more play. It's just got a lot of matchups that it's really good against right now. Being able to nuke the whole board is pretty good. And if you do end up having to go second, it just puts in a lot of work for you. So really good card. But those are all the monsters. Moving on to the spells, we of course play our technical 4 copies of Union Hanger because of the terraforming. This card is ridiculous. Basically opening it gets you a Buster Dragon. Like that's, or Dragon Buster. I keep saying that backwards all the time. But I have since the deck came out because I just think Buster Dragon all the time. But this is just 1 card combo by itself. Like playing 4 of it is ridiculous. Additionally, we do play technically 3 more copies of Union Hanger and that of Unauthorized Reactivation. You get to equip basically from your deck to your monster whatever piece you want or need. And the cool part is that like you can just like do your regular normal combo with the driver, and then you just banish the driver, you equip a piece, and then you get special summon. Like it's just that's what's so cool about this, is that you do have access to multiple Union Hangers on top of the technical 4 that you already play. So Unauthorized Reactivation is really, really good. Then we play 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. This card is very interchangeable. Whatever you guys prefer to play, go for it. I think this card is just very, very good because it helps you get to another card that you may need for your combo. If you know your opponent is playing Nibiru, maybe you want to dig for like a Galaxy Soldier. Like that's not a bad idea. So the 3 Prosperity is very much so worth it. Then the one-ofs, we play 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Harpy's Feather Duster, and 1 Called by the Grave. I think this is a pretty standard one-of lineup in a deck like this. All of them serve a very important purpose. Monster Reborn, obviously, bringing back a Dragon Buster is fantastic. Harpy's Feather Duster wiping backer is also fantastic, and Called by stopping hand traps is of the utmost importance in this meta because Lord knows there's plenty of hand traps. But then the last card that we play in the main deck, we play 1 singular trap card. Everyone automatically assumes it's Imperial Order, but it's not. It's actually Skill Drain. So Skill Drain is ridiculous in this deck because your Dragon Buster is essentially unaffected by it. You can discard a card from your hand for the effect of Dragon Buster, and you make your target, and then you can chain the Dragon Buster to tribute itself, and then you still get the banish effect to resolve because it's not in the field, so Skill Drain actually doesn't negate it. Skill Drain has just been a ridiculous card in ABC for a long time, and I think it's fully worth playing if you guys aren't playing it already. But that is the main deck. We're going to go ahead and hop on over to the extra deck so I can show you guys our strategy with ABCs. All right, so now we are moving on to our extra deck. I tried to put it on camera to display it to start this particular clip of the video, but I have a glare that I can't get rid of. I don't know why, but I keep getting this glare lately, and I'm trying to get rid of it. It just doesn't seem to want to cooperate. But we will go ahead and jump into our extra deck, which is going to start with, of course, our 3 ABC Dragon Buster. Card's absolutely fantastic. This card just does so much work for you, being able to banish cards on the field and just recur your monsters that are banished back onto the field in order to extend your plays. ABC Dragon Buster is one of the best boss monsters to come out in a very long time. It's just such a good card, such a really good card. Moving on to the links though, because obviously those are the only fusions that we play. We do play a lot of links. So we'll start off with the one link one that we play, and that is one copy of Clara and Rushka. Basically, this just helps you go into your larger plays with like your Dragon Buster and things like that. It just helps you extend. That's literally the only reason this card is here. It's not like a ridiculously good card, it's just good for extending. That's really its only purpose. Link 2s, we have a Masquerena, we have an Ahashima, which is part of comboing. Platinum Gadget, which is also part of comboing. Line of the Light Charmer. I think this card's pretty good. It's not great, but it's definitely a decent spot to have. One Nightmare Phoenix, because back row removal is obviously important. You got to play back row removal nowadays. You just have to. One Nightmare Unicorn, because Unicorn spinning stuff is really good. One Access Code Talker, which is obviously a super powerful card. We all know that. There's a reason that there's such a high price tag on it right now, and it's fully worth that price tag. Then the last Link monster is one Chaos Goddess. All of these are pretty good for the deck. There are certain scenarios in which you look at your hand and you go, okay, I don't need to use this one or that one, which in that case, that's when you use your Prosperity and you get rid of whatever you don't need. You really just have to resolve Prosperity once. That's really the reality of it. But those are all the Link monsters. Moving on to the XYZ monsters, we play one copy of Dugares. Some people play other rank 4 XYZ monsters like Dweller, which is fine, but I like this to extend because I could draw into more hand traps, which is actually pretty important, or I could special summon stuff from grave to try and loop more effects, which also has some implications to it, which are very important. But then the last XYZ monster we play is one Cyber Dragon Nova and one Cyber Dragon Infinity. These should honestly go without explanation, seeing we're playing the Galaxy Soldiers. That's literally what they're there for. They're there to make your Infinity play so you have a negation. It's a very, very good engine. It definitely puts in a lot of work, which is one of the coolest parts. Being able to suck up your opponent's monsters in addition to negating cards on the field is actually super important. So Infinity and Nova are fully worth it. But that is the entire extra deck. We're going to go ahead and jump on over to the main deck. I'm sorry, the side deck, and delve into our side decking strategy to counter the meta. All right, so we're on to the last portion of the video, which is our side deck. And we have some more hand traps in here, as well as some other cool choices that I think are pretty important. So let's go ahead and check these out. Play 3 copies of Droll and Lockbird. I feel like this is just a super strong card against a lot of decks right now. Obviously, Drytron is one of the big ones, but it's good against like Invoked and things like that too. Like there's a whole bunch of decks this card is good against, and it just slows down their strategy or completely cuts their strategy off, which is even better because you don't want them to play the game. So Droll is definitely worth playing. If you're thinking of good side deck cards, definitely consider Droll. 3 copies of Contact C. This is good against Prank Kids and it's good against Tri-Brigade. Those two primarily are the decks that you're going to want to drop this against. Overall, just a fantastic card, being able to completely close your opponent's opportunity of playing because you give them a card that they really can't use. Like, that's honestly the best part about this, is that your opponent is going to struggle to get rid of it most of the time. Those are all the hand traps that we side decked, though. Just 2 more. I didn't think we needed any more than that, because we have some other cards that are pretty important. For example, our 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet, because board negation is very important in a meta where you have your Drytron decks that can put up like 6 negations, if not more. So Forbidden Droplet is actually super important for that reason. Then some more back row removal. We play 3 copies of Twin Twisters. Helps you get your pieces engraved too, which can be very substantial, being able to discard a card sometimes. So 3 Twin Twister, fully worth it. I really don't like Cosmic. There are some people playing Cosmic this format, and I guess it depends on your deck. Like, obviously, if you're playing like a Pendulum deck, which most people aren't, you probably wouldn't play Twin Twisters because you want to keep your resources. But most decks, I feel that it is significantly better to be playing Twin Twister over Cosmic Cyclone. And the last card that we play is for when we know we're going first, and that is 3 copies of Rivalry of Warlords. There are going to be situations where this card comes up and is super clutch. Obviously, it's very important to note the fact that your Dragon Buster is going to get a lot of work put in for you while you have Rivalry up. That's basically the entirety of what the card is going to be there for, is basically making your Dragon Buster even more overpowered than it already is. So Rivalry is a fantastic card. It cuts off so many decks in the meta too. That's one of the things that I love about this. There's so many decks that just automatically lose to this card. So keep in mind that a card like Rivalry Warlords is pretty cheap for the most part, but also it's extremely powerful. This card does so many things advantageously for you, specifically making it so your machine-based deck basically does what machine decks do, and that is just beat the living crap out of your opponent. That's that's really what it does best. So Rivalry is a fantastic card. A lot of decks that do play only, for the most part, one type of monster are playing this now, and it is clear to see why. But that basically brings the video to a close. That is my current ABC deck profile that I've been playing around with. It's very, very fun, very enjoyable. It's not something that would be considered tier 1, definitely a rogue deck, but I feel that this is one of the more competitive lists of the deck, and I know that the deck just topped, I think it was an extravaganza last weekend or the weekend before, because I saw a list that had popped up. I think he got like 7th place. So shout outs to that ABC player. Good job on that part, because that's pretty cool. But I figured I would show my list off as to what I've been playing and toying around with a little bit, because I really enjoy playing this deck, and it's very, very fun and easy to follow. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video too. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you are not subscribed already, obviously smash the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, make sure you give the video a like, and comment down below all your happy thoughts and feelings. And for right now, this is Team Yugi Fails signing out.